Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on when and where you are watching this. My name is Abosede Jojogan, and I'm co-founder at ElectHER. Welcome to the 12th edition of the ElectHER Webinar series, a thought leadership platform by ElectHER that engages critical stakeholders who play a key role in ensuring increased women's political representation in Nigeria. Before I introduce our special guest for today, if this is your first time at an ElectHER event, welcome. If not, welcome back. This session will run ideally for 75 minutes, but we have already lost 10. So now for 65 minutes, but we would like it to be very interactive. So feel free to put your comments in the chat section and also ensure you put your questions in the Q&A box, which is below on your screen. We might also have an opportunity to get feedback or take questions from a few participants at the end, so make sure you stick around. Right, so without much further ado, I'm really excited to introduce our special guest for today's episode to discuss women inclusion in local governance. One of Nigeria's youngest local government chairpersons in the person of Honorable Fuad Atanda Lawal. He's the chairman at Ikoyi, Obalende Local Council Development Area. And I'm smiling at this point because this is the LCDA where I live, so I can attest to or dispute some of the things that he will say today. Welcome, Honorable Atanda Lawal.
Good evening, good afternoon, or good evening, Bosse, and good evening, viewers, and thanks for having me. Thank you very much. Thanks for the introduction as well. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Great. So my first question is going to seem like a very basic one. But we do not want to assume that everyone who is currently in this session and everyone who will watch it much later know exactly what the role of a local government chairperson is. So can you share with us briefly what role anyone in your position will play, ideally?
Okay. Thank you very much, Bosse, and good evening, everyone. My name is Fuad Atanda Lawal. I'm the Chairman of Ikoyi Obalende LCDA, and for me, when we look at the role of the local government in Nigeria today, and the importance of the local government system. You know, we run, it's the federal, the state, and the local government system. The local government being the third tier of government in Nigeria. And it is very critical, it is very important to everyone, you know, within the community where we govern. So for me, our roles and functions as stipulated in the fourth schedule of the Constitution, Section 7, you know, explains and details some of our functions as, you know, in terms of economic planning, innovation, trying to, like, you know, primary healthcare centers, you know, advertising, the land use charge, you know, from drainage issues to road construction to building of primary healthcare centers, and the list is endless. So for me, I should have no business, you know, than tackling the federal government or the state government. For me, I'd rather just stick to my local government because it affects everything around me. My day-to-day life, my day-to-day activities, everything is centered around local government. If a road is bad, for example, I should be able to reach out to my local government chairman and say, hey, my road is bad, you need to fix it. If the street lights are bad, the local government chairman should be able to do X, Y, Z for me. Why should I go to the state government when these things are basic things that the local governments are supposed to tackle? So today, we're not just going to talk about the functions of the local government, but we want people to see and understand the functions of the local government. So we can be held accountable for most of these things, most of the information that people are not equipped with. You know, build a reconstruction of primary healthcare centers. You have no business going to the general hospital or the private hospitals just to cure malaria and typhoid. These are the things that the primary healthcare system should take care of. So when you see blocked drainages, you should know that this is a function of the local government chairman. When you see bad roads, this is a function of the local government chairman. When you see street lights not working, these are the functions of the local government chairman. So So the list is endless. So these are things that the local government should do. And I can say to you that most of the issues, most of these things as enshrined in the Constitution of Federal Government are things that we are tackling at the Ikoyi Obalende LCDA. I've got a wonderful team, and we've been at this thing like from 2017 up until now. And I can, tell you for free that it's not been easy. It's not been easy in terms of trying to get the actual work done. But, with God on our side, I know we are definitely going to conquer. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I mean, to be honest, you underestimate how a lot of people don't understand what exactly the role of their local government chairpersons are. And even giving those specific examples, you would be amazed that somebody is nodding and saying, oh my, I didn't realize. And maybe sometimes those arguments that I've had with friends or with, my neighbors could have just channeled it to our local government chairperson. So I really, really appreciate that. So moving on, as one of the youngest local government chairmen in Lagos State, how have you been able to navigate the tides of politics and spur young people to be more interested in politics? And I think this is a very important question because similar to the conversation which we're going to be diving into today around women inclusion, people just don't think that young people should be in politics. But you are a sort of a living testament that young people can govern when given the opportunity.
Thank you very much, Bossa. Two things, and I would always say this. One is to accept the conditions as they exist. And the second option is to accept the responsibility for changing those things, the things that you don't like. And at Ikoyi Obalende LCDA, we've chosen to accept, the responsibility to change the things that we don't like, the things that people see as being normal. We've been able to turn these things around. So for me at Ikoyi Obalende LCDA, we got straight to work in 2017. People were like, oh, where's he coming from? We don't know him. What's he going to do? We think he's too young for the job. He has no experience or whatsoever, and so we just said to ourselves, like, this is going to be challenging, but I know we can pull it off. So what we did was we assembled a wonderful team, and we said, you know what, let's go for these things, the low-hanging fruit. The roads are bad. The street lights are not working. Schools need renovation. Women are not doing anything. They are not being empowered. What do? We put up a team, and we said, okay, let's start first with the issues of road reconstruction. We had bad roads in Obalende. It's Ikoyi Obalende. So for me, the number of bad roads that we had then in Obalende was like 2 times the number of bad roads we had in Ikoyi. So we moved immediately to Obalende to see how we can commence with road reconstruction in Obalende. And when we started that journey, people said, oh, so it's the function of the local government to fix bad roads. And these roads have been bad for years. And they said, hold on 1 second. So we took it a step further, and we said, you know what, let's fix the street lights. The street lights in Obalende have been bad for over 20-something years. And we said, how? We fixed the street lights, and people said, so it's a function of local government to fix the street lights. And by doing all of the things that we're doing, the youths, the people that I represent, because I know that I represent more than half of the country's population, they believe in what we were doing, and they have to come on board. Gone are those days where people will just come and start shouting and say, no, we don't know you, we don't know you. Now, because of what we have done at the Ikoyi Obalende LCDA, people are now politically conscious. They know the roles, they know the functions of the local government, they know what to hold us to. They know if we're not doing well, they call us out. So now on our team, I think I have, even my councillors, they're very young as well. So my own kitchen cabinet as well. So we have young people, graduates, people that have, schooled abroad. They've come back to work with us at the local government, and they're putting all of the experiences they have, they're trying to put it to work. And for me at the Ikoyi Obalende LCDA, we're saying, oh, look at the chairman. The chairman is also a young person. And my understanding is, as a local government chairman, representing the youthful population, if I'm not able to pull anything off, then what I've done is to reduce the chances of the younger ones coming to say, we've given you guys a youthful person, and was not able to do anything. But that's not our case, because the results are there for people to see. When we talk, we show evidences, we show people that come. We document the things that we're doing, because that's the only way people can see the things that you're doing. It's not enough for you to come on social media or any other platform to say you've done X, Y, Z. People want to see proof. It's not everyone that lives or resides in your local government. For the people that don't reside in your local government, they are going to rely on video-based evidences and things that you have done. And those are the things that we have put together at the Obalende LCDA to show to people that this is a working government. This is a government that cares about people. It's a government that cares about the youth. It's a government that cares about the women. At the Obalende LCDA, we came up with a program called the Youth and Women Empowerment Program, YWEP. And this program was to see how we could train people, train the youth, train women on different businesses, skills acquisition, to see how they can be self-sufficient. So for me at the Obalende LCDA, it's not just doing the work of road reconstruction, building primary healthcare centers, fixing street lights. It's also about human capital, developing people, making sure that people can stand on their own, people can stand by themselves, and do the actual work. So at the Obalende LCDA, we focused on not just, we said, okay, let's adopt the UN SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals. Let's take some of these things and see how these things can now form a blueprint for us at the Obalende LCDA. And we started with, okay, fine, no poverty, zero hunger. We started with our empowerment programs. We gave out grants to people ranging from 10,000 Naira to 100,000 Naira. And you would ask that, what can 10,000 Naira do? You'll be shocked as to what 10,000 Naira can do for a petty trader. You'll be shocked as to what 100,000 Naira can do. As a local government, giving out these grants, we don't even give out loans. When we give you funds, we try as much as possible to monitor what you do with your money and see how we can, invest more in your business. And these things have worked for us at the Obalende LCDA. So we're not just focusing on infrastructure, we're focusing on people to see how we can, help people, human capital development at the Obalende LCDA. And it has worked, and it is still working. It's always going to work. And this is something that I can say for free that if we are to come back again to continue on this journey, it will be more human capital development, because we've done the work, the actual work that we're supposed to do. Obalende for a very long time I've been neglected. There was nothing really going on there. Now you find road construction going on in Obalende. You find drainages being reconstructed. If you go to Ikoyi, the results are there. We've done fixed Raymond Njoku, we fixed Ije Dolphin Road, one of the most useless roads, in the whole of local government, very terrible road. We fixed all of these things in 2 years or 3 years while we were in office. So for me, we can only do more, because it's my understanding that if we're able to do work at this level, what we've done is not just to say, okay, the youths have performed. It's going to open like a window of opportunities for other youths coming behind. And that's what we want to see. We want women to come on board. We want the younger ones to come on, we want men to come on, we want everybody to get involved. That's the only way we can turn around the fortunes of this country. We're not just going to sit by the fence and say, you know what, it is politics, and people doing politics are bad. People doing politics they are not good people, they are not nice people. You can't say from 100 people that you have like total of 100 bad people in politics. It is not possible. There are people that have gone ahead of us that we can leverage on their experiences. There are people that we can tap into what they know. There are people that can still show us the way, and they're still in active politics. So for me, I believe that if we're able to empower the youths, empower the women, empower men and women, then you will see the changes that we want to see in this country. It starts from the grassroots. We're not going to take problems from the top. We start from the base. And we start, even the Bible says, if the foundation be faulty, what can the righteous do? If the foundation is bad, it becomes a problem. So for me, for us at the Obalende LCDA, we focused on people, delivering quality service, and the integrity of our people, our key personnel, also is also very important. So for me, it's not enough to come on Zoom on social media to just say we have done. They are evidence-based. There are things that we have done that people can see, that people can attest to in the Obalende LCDA, and we are not going to stop, because we believe that we represent more than half of, I keep saying more than half of the country's population, because I want opportunities to come for people that are still behind, the ones that are going to school, the ones that are just going to graduate from school. They will say, go to school. I want a situation where the jobs will drive education. It's not enough for you to tell me to go to school, knowing fully well that once I'm done with school, I'm not going to get a proper job somewhere. But if we allow the jobs drive education, then you see the amount of people that will be able to go to school, come out, because they know fully well that once they're done with school, they'll be gainfully employed. And that's one thing that we are championing at the Obalende LCDA. We've got partners within the local government. We've got partners. We've got MDs of large corporations. That from time to time we do talk to and see how we can get our people to get these jobs. Apply for jobs within this company. So for me, it is working. Something that is working. And with a strong team, with our own team as well, I know that we're going to get to where where the things I want to do. We're definitely going to get there.
Awesome. So thank you so much for that. So I heard a few things. So as a young person representing the youth in position of power, you have taken it as a sense of responsibility. So that's one. The second piece is being intentional and deliberate in actually getting young people into your own cabinet so that they can also help you to achieve the things that you've set out to achieve. And then being very intentional about having a youth and women's empowerment program where youth is now centered within policy. And then, of course, this final piece around how can you create opportunities for young people. I think that's amazing. So I'm going to go into my next question, which begins to take us closer into our major conversation for today. So research has shown that low women's participation can be attributed to structural barriers that limit women's options to run for office, such as capacity deficits, low interest, funding, amongst other things. Do you agree with this? And generally, in your opinion, why do you think that many women don't run for office in Nigeria?
Well, first off,
I don't know, maybe you can start, Chairman, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Maybe you can start with sharing with us. I know that there are 56 or 57 local government areas and LCDAs in Lagos. If you can tell us, please, how many women sit with you when you have your large meeting before you delve into that question, it would be great. Thank you.
Okay, for Lagos State, for example, we have about 18% of our the chairpersons in Lagos are women, and that accounts for about 10 local government within Lagos State. We also have about 8 vice chairpersons as well in Lagos, women as well. So for me, I'm not going to say I would agree on the funding part, but the capacity deficit, I totally disagree. For me, it's not about the capacity deficit now. It's about our beliefs, our social-cultural beliefs that women are supposed to take the back seat while the men just, do what they have to do. That is totally wrong. That is totally wrong. It's not acceptable. I'm a married man, and I can say to you that my wife works with the World Bank Group, and it's something that I could have said, as a local government chairman, I need you to be by my side as the first lady. So when I move, you move. Do you understand what I'm saying? But for me, I still see no, there's no way. All I could have done was just say, sit down, please. No, you don't have to go anywhere. But, have my wife doing what she's always wanted to do. And that's working with the IFIs, the International Financial Institutions. And for me, they say charity begins at home. If you can't empower the woman that's been with you, I bet your kids, if you can't empower that kind of woman. So tell me, is it possible for you to empower the people outside? Charity begins at home. So for me, my wife, she's doing what she's always wanted to do, and I'm also doing what I've always wanted to do. So basically, there's nobody stopping anybody. There's nobody discouraging anybody, because I do get from time to time women approaching me that they want to go into politics. And I say, basically, I give them advice. I say to them, these are the things, these are the steps that you are supposed to make. You're supposed to do X, Y, Z. You talk to this person and see how you can make it work. And you've got a wonderful platform as well. So your platform speaks for itself, but we'll get there, So for me, there's this negative views about when you see women in politics. When you see women, there's this negative that they must have done some shady things to occupy the offices that they occupy. More like, they've been with this man, they've been with this godfather, they've been with this sugar daddy, quote and unquote. So people don't think that it is based on what they know. They believe now that it is based on who they know and who they have slept with. For me, it is totally wrong. We've seen women in large corporations, MDs of banks, MDs of large, So for me, it's not just saying, the women are not supposed to. I see women that are educated. We all went to schools, and in our classes, then we find ladies, girls in our. So there was no way it was just a boys only thing. Even the boys only school, girls only school, we still had people, colleagues, our lessons. So we have women everywhere. So are you saying to me that for a woman to go to school after spending over close to 15, 16 years, getting all the degrees, you now relegate that woman to the kitchen? It's not going to work. No country will move forward that way. No country will move forward that way. In India, there's this local government system that they really worked on, and to see how 1/3 of seats are kept for women to function. So that whatever it is you do, 1/3 of this thing would definitely go to the women. And it's something that I think we should look into in this part of the world as well. So it's not just the lack of support system. I've spoken about that as well. So, high financial expenditure for women as well. So you must be, as a woman, it's okay for you to say, I want to run for office. It's also okay for you to have something that you're doing. So don't see politics as your meal ticket. You see politics as something that, fine, you've got passion for something. There's something you really want to do. You really want to change the narrative around here, and that's why you're going to politics. So you must be willing to spend your own money, because the people you'll be talking to, most of them will say to you that, Madam, I've not eaten all days. Why are you telling me all of the stories you're telling me? So you must be willing to commit your personal resources to get the things that you want. You're not giving them money because you want to bribe them. You're giving them money because what? You want to support them. And you're saying to them that I'm not going to give you 20,000 naira just for you to go buy something. I'm going to put this money in your hand so that you can set up a business. You can start up a business. And with this business, I'm definitely going to follow through on everything that you're doing. So it's something that would work, So I don't think, but it's just the social cultural thing, as to the reasons why women don't want to go into, based on capacity deficit, I'll tell you that women are doing well. Women are doing fantastic. I've had like corporate jobs, before I became the chairman of this local government, and we had women as heads of departments. We had women as deputy managing directors, executive directors. So I'm saying to you that we should just even focus on the corporate world now and focus on politics. Lagos State, we are championing so many things in Lagos. I think Lagos State has the highest number of women, chairpersons at the local government affairs. So it's something that we should look into. We need to change the narrative. We need to unlearn so many things. As to most of the things that we're taught growing up. I don't want to say they were wrong, but we just need to tackle some things. We can't keep saying, oh, as a woman, you belong to the kitchen, you belong to the other room, you belong to tables of men, tables where men are seated. You are a decision maker, you're everything. And we as men, we are here to support you. We're not supporting you because we just want to balance the numbers or balance the... No. We're supporting you because we know you have the capacity. We know you can deliver. We know you can do what the men can do. You can even do it better than what the men have done. So if we give you the support, the right attitude, we know you're definitely going to function. And as husbands, we should never relegate our wives to the kitchen or the other room, because you'll be doing yourself a great disservice. Come on. So for me, it's about, all of these things, the social cultural thing, the high financial expenditure, the negative views as to who does she know, who has she slept with, who has she done this with, she's talking to this man, she couldn't have done all of these things by herself. All of that, we need to change that notion. We need to change that notion.
Yeah. Honorable, this has been a breath of fresh air to hear that coming from a man. Because oftentimes when women sort of are talking about these issues, it almost seems like we want to take over, and they're being aggressive, so it's really heartwarming to hear you say those things, because they are real, right? They are deep stereotypes that women deal with within our society that has really impeded them from participating in positions of power, especially in politics. Because as you alluded to, women are doing really well when it comes to women in business or women in the corporate world. We have kind of navigated our way through. But when it comes to politics, unfortunately, we've not been able to translate that sort of method or whatever it is that we used to achieve that. And one one of the things that we say, and I know my co-founder is, listening somewhere in ElectHER, is that we want men as allies. And I think that exactly what you have demonstrated is what a man as an ally can do: support you, encourage you, inspire you, and then show you the way. So we're really excited that we're talking to a he for she this evening. So let's move on to the next question. So we know that we've talked about women's inclusion sort of generically, but what do you think are the challenges that hinder women's political participation and representation, specifically at the local governance and decision-making level? And do you think that this differs from like sort of the federal or national level? What would you say to that?
You see, this problem, this challenge is not just unique to Nigeria or unique to Lagos State. It's a global problem, and you find different countries and within the international system, trying to make decisions as to how to balance everything. So, for me, it's a global problem that requires, a global solution. Like I just mentioned, the introduction of the quota system, to see how we can, I don't want to use the word protect, because when we use the word protect, it feels like they're helpless, and they can't do anything by themselves, I don't want to use that word. So for me, it's about balancing, the scales, about, empowering the woman. People will say, oh, she's not qualified. Why is she trying to contest? Why is she trying to compete with me as a man? I will trash this woman. No. Listen, man, woman, you guys came into this world the same way. So we need to understand something first. How do we now support you? How do we, we've moved on from the challenges that women face. It is how we support you now. How do we ensure that you get there? And if or when you get there, you're able to perform exceedingly well. So platform like yours, your ElectHER platform, is something that we should also support as men. There's this thing in Rwanda, this African Leadership Institute, whereby once you're done with secondary school, you go there for a year, you get trained properly as to what's the next step in your life. Do you want to go to uni? What exactly do you want to do? Parents don't want to force their kids to do some, just you go be a doctor, you go be a lawyer anymore. So from there, you're able to understand what you want to do. With platform like yours, that what you can do as well is to see how we can train women, empower women. We've started that at our local council development area. At the LCDA, we have a department called WAPA, Women Affairs and Poverty Alleviation. It is headed by a woman. So you can't have a platform like that and you put a man there to run that kind of platform. To be honest with you, it's called Women Affairs and Poverty Alleviation. So basically, I have someone, I have a graduate of international relations from Obafemi Awolowo University, running that as well. So she's on top of it, and I give her the free hand. She just comes, she gives me the figures. Chairman, these are the things that we need to work on. For me, it's all about empowering the woman. For a very long time, women have been relegated to the backseat. And how do we make them see that, come, you can do better than any other person? We need to start supporting the women. Men, we need to start supporting. We need to create that enabling environment for women to thrive. It goes beyond the social cultural thing, as to, okay, women are not supposed to be, in offices. Women are not supposed to contest for some certain position. In Lagos State, as a woman, if you pick up a form, I think if the form is discounted or I think it's free to contest elections in Lagos State. So when the men are buying forms for like 100,000 to 200, I think the woman gets about 90 to 80% discount or something thereabout. She pays right next to nothing, because we're trying to see, because there's a financial problem that we've seen. And there's also that gap that we're trying to bridge to see how you can purchase your form and also contest elections, and not just contesting because you're contesting to win. So it now boils down to the fact that, do you now have the necessary training? Do you have the necessary requirements for you to thrive on the job? Because the people you're going to be working with are men. And for every time you talk, they see like you're being rude, you're being, so you need to understand that part as well. So it's not just, okay, fine, you're getting one woman and the woman is just, even Margaret Thatcher, I don't know if you've seen The Crown. Margaret Thatcher in The Crown, then she said something about, why don't you have women in your cabinet? She said, the women, that they are too weak. She said that, you understand, from the movie The Crown. So for me, It's about making the women understand that we're here for you. We're here to support you. We're here to make sure that you get the necessary tools that are required for you to function on the job. And this doesn't just apply to the local government system. It should apply to even in the corporate world. People face all these challenges where a guy gets promoted and the woman is just there. She definitely doesn't understand. She feels like, oh, she's had a better score at the appraisal ratings and everything. And why is this guy getting promoted over? So most times it can get frustrating. You just want to quit your job. So I've seen cases like that. But Lagos State, for example, I can say to you that we think we've done well, and at the Obalende LCDA, we are doing work as well, just to see how we can empower women. Whenever we do our empowerment programs, it's always 70% to the women, 30% to the men. And the men are always saying, why, Chairman? I'm like, because I think that for a very long time, they've been relegated to the back seat. So we need to bring them out. We need them to come out now and show us what they can do.
Yeah. Amazing. So you touched on three things that I want to reiterate. The first one that excites us at ElectHER is a quota system. So all of the evidence points to the fact that in countries, especially the Nordic countries like Ireland, Finland, and all of that, right, where you have women in leadership positions, in the highest leadership positions, as prime ministers and all of that, it was a quota system. But let's come to Africa, whether it's Kenya, whether it's Ethiopia, whether it's South Africa, they have used quota systems. But we understand that there's a whole school of thought that believe that quota systems are not the way to go. However, you used a term that I think is very appropriate, balancing the scale. Nigerian women account for 49.3% of the country's population. But today, in terms of political representation, they are 4.1%. And as you said, how can a whole nation leave behind a certain group of people when it wants to go forward? So that's the first one. We're very excited about, you sort of being a fan of the quota system, because it does work, and the evidence has shown that that's one of the ways to sort of tilt the scale. That's the first one. The second thing I hear you say is that regardless of what level of position of power, whether it's local governance, whether it's state governance, whether it's at the federal level, there are a few things that we need to do. Having identified the challenges, how do we support women? How do we support them to build their capacity? How do we support them with sort of the enabling environment, mentor them in this case? And then the funding piece. But I'll tell you something about the free forms and the discounted forms that women have told us about in terms of feedback. So a lot of the feedback we got after 2019 was that when they give you a free form or a discounted form, when it's time to say step down, you are number one on that list, because they feel like you didn't earn it and you don't deserve to be to have the ticket or to be on the ballot. So when you hear women say, leave us, put it at 3 million, let us buy our own forms by ourselves at 3 million, don't think that they are being silly. They are making a case based on experience, because like I said, in the 2019 elections, one of the things we got was, once it's time to drop somebody, they'll just say, who didn't pay that plenty money? And then so I'm just giving you feedback. I don't know if you want to respond to that, maybe not, but I'm just telling you that when you hear that women are not interested in getting free form, please know that this is the reason. So I really appreciate kind of how you framed that. And yeah, I'm really, really excited about this conversation. So let's start, as you said, we started going into solutions. So let's start to look towards 2023. Okay. And before we go there, I just want to start encouraging us to put our questions. I can see there's a lot of people with us today. So put your questions in the Q&A box, or, put it in the chat. No, don't put your questions in the chat section, but I want to see more activity. Or are you people just so engrossed that you're not engaging in the chat? But please put your questions in the Q&A box. I think that's really important, because we're going to be transitioning into questions shortly. So great. Thank you very much for everyone who is here. Right. So, Chairman, as I said, we're going into 2023. For us and ElectHER, and for many people, we do not want to see the same numbers that we saw in 2019. So for a woman that is seeking to run for local government chairmanship, and I know that in the case of Lagos, the elections next year. So if you know a woman who's looking to run, don't worry about if she's going to run in your local government or in the local government of your friend as a man. What would be your top 3 advice or recommendations to her to break barriers to be successful at these elections?
To be very honest with you, number one is if you've got elections coming up in 2023, this is the time you have to work. You're not going to wait till 2023 to make your voices heard. You need to start doing the job now. And even if at all, if you're going to run at all, number one on my list should be the fact that running, your campaign should be women's issues based. Issues that border around women. That in itself can get you extra 10% of the vote from the women. Your campaign itself should be women, issues that border around women that people have not touched. These are things that you should focus on. Now, how do I get the women to vote for me? Because women are also going to vote, they're still going to vote for the men. So how do I get to it? If you can answer that question, if you can say, you know what, if you've done like your survey, like a needs assessment or something, then you understand your voters, you know what they want, the women voters, you know what they want. So you're able to tackle most of these issues way before you get there. Another thing that you can look at is to see how you can get more women to register to vote. You get more women to register to vote. You get them to come out, let them register, let them vote. And you know that basically it was you that did XYZ for them. And when it comes to elections, because you're already selling your ideas to them, you're making them understand that these are the reasons I'm contesting. I'm contesting because this incumbent has not been able to do anything for women, has not been able to do anything for men, has not been able to do anything for anybody. So the reason I'm contesting is simple. In your manifesto. So if they believe in your manifesto, then trust me, your I think 20% of your problems have been solved. Then you now tackle the normal 3 things is that undecided voters. People will say to you, I don't care about the local government system. The local government, they've got nothing to do for me. They've got nothing to offer. The undecided voters, these are registered voters, but they never want to get involved in local government politics. These are the people that you should start talking to as well. You've seen how you can, get them involved, when it comes to election proper. So at the same time, you join a political party. You can't say to me that, I want to join this new party. The name of the party is PPP or TTT. To be honest, I still don't understand. The local government that you want to contest in, if the candidate there is so popular because he or she has done exceedingly well, do you think you can unseat that local government person? It will be difficult for you to unseat that person because the person has put in so much work and the person is now popular, among the electorate. So it's going to be difficult for you to just unseat that person. So you need to understand, number one is your campaign must be issues-based. Issues-based in the sense that has this person done what is enshrined in the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria? If you can't answer the question 100%, then you should contest. When I was going to contest, like I've already said it from my days in uni, that I'm going to contest. I'm going to contest local government elections. I said to my wife, I'm going to say, why politics? I've always wanted to do politics. And I said to her, like, XYZ, growing up in this part of Lagos, some things that I saw then, they're no longer here. So I really want to change the narrative around here. And, God did it. I'm the chairman now. We've started changing things. And we've not even scratched the surface of things that we want to do, but I know we can do better. Anybody can come and fix roads. Anybody can come and build primary healthcare centers. These are the things that you're supposed to do. At the Obalende LCDA, we've taken it a step further to say, we are going to introduce something that has never been used, tried in Lagos State. And that it's called, pay parking, metered parking. We've all been opportune to, just to travel, outside the shores of Nigeria. And for a fact that you just can't park your vehicles anywhere. This is the number one cause of traffic within the local government, where somebody just parks his car, just picks up passengers from anywhere. So there are things that we are going to introduce from January 2021 to see how we can generate more income for the local government, so we can embark on more capital projects that would affect the lives of everybody within the local government system. So for me, when you put these three things together, you campaigning on issues that brought around women, you understanding the voters, and you getting more people to register to vote, then I think you solve, some part of your problem. So the other part would be for you to join a political party and leverage on people that are in system already. The people that are in the system, that they've worked. You can't tell me everybody's system is bad. No, join them. Hear from them, take notes from them, understand it, understand the party politics, understand how things work. You should be able to know all of these things before saying, I want to be the local government chairman of this local government. You have to. When I became the chairman, I wasn't popular. People said, where is he coming from? We don't know him. And people are saying they don't know you, but today, people are saying, Fuad, they work with the Siam. Do you understand? So that means what? Fuad is working, and we can see what Fuad is doing. Do you understand? So we're not going to stop. So I can say for my local government that we've done work. We focus on issues. We've done our needs assessment. We've asked questions from our residents. What are the things you want to see in this local council development area? And they've been able to answer our questions. And answering our questions also shapes everything that we've done, that we've achieved as a local government. And we're not going to stop now because people have said Fuad, they work with the SIAM. We've not even scratched the surface of the things that we still want to achieve within this local government. Even for the year, road constructions are still going on within the local government. Ikoyi, Obalende LCDA, where the empowerment programs are still going to come up, January, February, thereabout, So for me, it's understanding how the system works, and you knowing the system fully well, and getting a mentor, somebody within the system that will guide you. With that person, you can't fail. Get someone that's gone ahead of you. Let the person understand. Tell the person, people approach me. People approach me. They say stuff like, Chairman, I want to contest for something. Even outside Lagos. There's a young man now that's just won election somewhere in local government elections, and he sent me a message saying, Chairman, how do you do the projects that you do? I'm not going to say because he's not a member of my party. I'm not going to say to him, share some of our recipes for success with him. They see these things and they've reached out to me, and it is my responsibility to be of help. So at this level, being a woman, your campaign should be issues based around issues that surround women. We're not saying you shouldn't campaign about the general things, but campaign the issues that affect women. That in itself can give you 10 to 12% of votes from people. And get to know your voters, get to know your voters, the undecided voters, let them know, get more people to register to vote, and join a party, join a strong party, join a strong party. I always say, join my party, APC. We are doing well. We are doing well.
Chairman, we're not going to let you solicit people to join your party. But I think you raise critical points, right? The first thing is you want to run. Nigeria today, the constitution does not allow for independent candidacy. So you have to join a political party. However, what I hear you say is, if you want to increase your chances of success, join a strong party. because there's work that has been done that you can potentially leverage. And there are people also who have gone ahead of you, who understand how party politics works, but also how the entire political system works, that you can leverage. So I hope that women who have joined this call, who are looking to run, are hearing some of the practical steps. And then on the issue of campaign around women's issues, in addition to other issues, I think that that's so interesting. I actually came across a research day before yesterday that said that a lot of the women who have won elections win their elections because of women's votes. So what you're saying is actually grounded, right, in evidence, because at the end of the day, that extra 10%, like you said, could come from women. And then you also even dived into, don't forget, unregistered voters. How many are you able to convert to become registered voters to go and vote for you? And then, of course, undecided voters. So I really appreciate you giving those practical tips. Anyone who's looking to run today can literally go away and take those steps. So as we begin to kind of round up from the questioning on my end, I haven't seen any questions yet in the Q&A. Maybe Honorable Atanda Lawal is confusing all of you. So, but please put your tough questions, the tough ones that I'm not asking, please put it in the Q&A box. And if you would like to speak, start to get ready. We'll give you an opportunity. So in your opinion, can electoral gender quotas serve as a measure towards increasing the active participation of women in local politics? And I know that you've already almost answered that, but I also want to add something. There's something I always say about local politics. So when people say, oh, start at the grassroots, I agree that all politics is local, by the way. But I always say that, and this is what I say, and this is the example I use all the time, so don't laugh too much. But I always say that there's an Iyaruka in every local government and in every community, right? And what does Iyaruka represent? Iyaruka represents a woman who politically empowered at the local level. She will go door to door for her party. She delivers votes. She does the work, but Iyaruka has never been elected. That is what bothers me the most. And that means to me that there's a gap between Iyaruka, the empowered political champion, versus Iyaruka, who can, play a role, a seat at the table. And so in that context, can a gender quota, where you now say, okay, we will reserve a quota, and then identify the Iyarukas who are already empowered politically, in the sense that they've got a base, they deliver the votes for other people, and all of that, can then contest now for themselves and be on the ballots?
You see, Iyaruka, quote unquote, was already elected as an EXCO member to be a woman leader. You understand what I'm saying? So the party system, the party structure, we have, different positions from the chairman of the party within a local government. These are elected positions, People get elected into these offices. And, let me just go deeper into something that I need to understand. I need our viewers to understand today. We have, there are three particular types of people that come into politics. You have the people with knowledge, people that are very, very witty. They have the understanding. They are the ones that can drive policies. And you have those ones in politics. There are people that come with the cash. They come with funding. They come with so many things. They fund elections just to see how, their candidates can get the required votes and everything for campaigning and all of that. And there are also people that will be the ones to make noise. Do you understand? Make noise for you. Go around, go door to door, and make sure that they get the voters to come out. So basically, from time to time, we need to ask ourselves questions like, so what is your own position here? Are you the one with the brain? Are you the one coming with the money? Are you the Iyaruka, quote and unquote? You need to understand what works for you. So in trying to understand what works for you, you will know that you've been able to solve your problem. For example, the women leader, they are strong politically at every local government system, every local government, everywhere you go, you find them. You know, their positions at the party level, the women leader, the assistant women leader, we have the ward leaders within every ward that we have in every local government. So they come out from time to time to canvass for votes for their candidates. And these things are not easy. So if you don't understand the system of the local government, and you're just coming into local government and you say you want to do XYZ, Yaruka can get 200 people to vote for you, you know, in just 30 minutes without speaking English. Then you are still going to come and say, oh, we are going to send you on trainings. We're going to, and nobody like, who wants to go on a training? But my business needs money. My business needs funding. My business needs XYZ. You get what I'm saying? So for us at the local government, we need to understand some things that, you know, how does the local government system work? How does it work? I'm from the grassroots. Do you understand? I'm from here. I'm from this local government. I understand the problems, you know, of this local government. I was born and raised here. So I can say to you that I know everything going on within my local government, you know. So an external person can come now and say to me that he knows Ikoyi Obalende more than I do. This is something that I've lived in Ikoyi Obalende almost all of my life. You understand me? So, and for us to empower Yaruka that you're saying going round already has a business that she wants to do. Yaruka never wants to contest for anything and any elected position because she's okay. She's okay with what she does. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can. Go ahead.
So I was saying that, you know, the Yaruka that we are talking about, you know, she has already been empowered because she was voted into that office that she occupies. You understand? She was voted into that office that she occupies. Do you understand what I'm saying? So for someone like Yaruka can also say, you know what, I'm tired of being someone that will go up and down to, you know, champion for canvas for vote. I also want to contest. So these positions are positions that the party, you know, when we introduce this quota system, people like Yaruka can snap up and say, you know what, this position has been left for this woman to contest, and you just give her like a safe passage to, you know, to get to what she wants to do. It's as simple as that. It shouldn't be anything too difficult for anyone to ask for. So, but it works. Great. The system that works, and I think that it's something that we should consider. This quota system, you know, there are different levels to all of these things that we are being faced with. You know, for someone like her, she knows most of the things that goes on within the government. Do you understand? So if you empower Yaruka to do, you know, to run for an elective position, she's definitely going to do well. She's definitely going to do it because Yaruka that's going up and down to canvass for votes, she's speaking to mostly the women. She will go into the barracks, go into the nooks and crannies of the local government just to see how she can, you know, get people to come out to vote. But I'm saying to you today that if Yaruka says she wants to contest for something and she says, I want it, if you don't give me this, I'm going to take my vote somewhere else, she's definitely going to get it. Because you know that she has the numbers. Do you understand what I'm saying? You know Yaruka has the numbers. Yes. She has the base. She has that foundation. Yeah. So you know that she's definitely going to get what she wants. If she says to you, like, you know what, I'm tired of being a canvasser. Now I want you to vote for me. I want the party to vote. And if Yaruka says no, and she decides to move to another party, you should know that it's going to be a big problem for you. Yes. So that's how it works. Exactly. That's how it works. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. So, and I think Ramat makes a good point in the chat section when she says, in the case where Yaruka is not elected, but has been a successful canvasser, then we must identify how to get Yaruka into appointive office. And what Ramat was recommending is that in a case where maybe Yaruka doesn't get on the ballot, she can end up being appointed by people in position of power who understand the value that she brings and how she potentially translate that into sort of policy development or policy formulation or general development as an example. Great. So, Honorable, are you still with me?
Yes, sir.
We can move on. I'm going to let, we have two hands raised. And so I'm going to invite them to speak before we go into our questions that we have, so that we can then wrap up with those questions. Honorable, do you hear me? My internet actually says it's unstable.
No,
it's
fine now. I was just going through the
pardon
questions,
me,
and there's some questions
but,
here.
Okay.
There's some questions.
Great. Okay, great. All right. So Akinola Akinjinyo is the first person on our list. I'm going to allow you talk. You have exactly 1 minute. If it's a question, it ends with a question mark. If it's a comment, please keep it nice and short. Thank you very much. Otherwise, I will have to mute you friendlily, respectfully. Thank you. Go ahead, Akinola. Okay, but Honorable, before I get Akinola, he's on cue. Someone says, when are we going to have a female governor in Lagos State?
Okay. I got a question. So, to be honest, soon Lagos State is like different from all other states within the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So, I can say to you that soon, with what ElectHER, this platform is doing, I can tell you that very soon, pretty soon, we will get a female governor, and we're going to get a female governor not because we just want to have a female governor, but we'll get a qualified, someone that has been an all-rounder, is someone that we're going to get as the governor of Lagos State. So in Lagos State, we don't do like, average things. I'm not going to say to you that we would get someone that's very qualified, someone that can drive, someone that can drive the policy, someone that can, that will take us to the next level, So for me, because we want that opportunity, not just to be that, we'll get one female governor in 20 years. No, we want a situation where a female governor comes and people are clamoring for maybe a female president. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes,
as a result of what the person must have done in Lagos State. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, those are the kind of things I want to see. And with your platform, I can say to you that you're doing well, and I know that you can do more than what you've started already. And I know, because I see the things you do. I follow you, women in politics, ElectHER. I follow all of these platforms that you guys run, and I can say to you for free that very soon, we're definitely going to get one. It's not just going to be a man thing forever. At some point, we have women. We have a young commissioner of agriculture in Lagos State, a young lady, and she's doing well. She's super fantastic. I've had like 1 or 2 engagements with her, and I know what she's capable of. So basically, the opportunities are always going to be there. So if we give them the platform to contest as local government chairman, to contest, to get appointed as into the state exco, I can say to you that maybe one of them, maybe just one, you just never know, will be the one, to take over, the reins of government from any state governor.
So, Akin, are you ready to speak? If you can go ahead, I've unmuted you. Briefly, please. We now have a few more minutes, less than we had before. Akin, can you unmute yourself? Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. Good afternoon. Good evening, Mr. Chairman.
Good evening, Mr. Akin. Good evening.
How are you doing?
We're fine, thank you.
So nice having you here.
Mr. Akin, you have 30 seconds more.
I've felt all the good job you've been doing in our cosmopolitan local government.
Thank you.
I give kudos to you. Kudos.
Thank you very much.
You've done so much. You've done beyond our imagination. And I want to believe if all the local government chairmen in Lagos State entirely can follow the footsteps which you've laid out, we should be able to have a better Lagos. We should be able to have a better governance. I know it hasn't been easy though. Madam.
Thank you so much, Mr. Akin. I just want to, do you have a question? Otherwise, I'm going to have to mute you.
Okay,
but I want to let you land.
Okay,
yes,
quick one.
Please, go ahead.
My question is, What gives the chairman the drive to contest for the position?
Thank you. Thank you very much. That's a really good question. Thank you so much. Thank you very much, Mr. Akin. We appreciate that.
Thank you.
I'm gonna quickly bring in Nicholas. Oh, Mr. Adekunle, did you already put your question in the chat? Otherwise, please go ahead. Briefly, please, Mr. Adekunle.
I already put my question. It has been answered. Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. We appreciate that.
Chairman a message to
Thank you so much. We appreciate you being honest. Thank you. Yvonne, please go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
Okay. Good evening, Honorable.
Good evening. Good evening, Yvonne.
And thank you, Elector. Thank you. Okay, it's been great listening to you. A quick question. As much as we want to deny the patriarchy is not really present in Nigeria, especially in politics, the fact remains that it's there. And most of the people that call the shots in politics in Nigeria, like the godfathers, like the movers and shakers in political parties, still believe that our places are in the homes, in the kitchen. So how do you, even if I join a political party, I still have this feeling that I might never be recognized, like they might never take me seriously. I once worked in a place where they were mostly dominated by men, and I know how they used to make me feel during management meetings. Like they would never listen to me. And I know that is what a lot of us still face in political parties. I know it will still exist there. So how do you get past that? How do you get your voice to be heard? How do you get them to take you seriously? Especially when you're very young, like you're really young. They'll be like, what does this one have to say? You know what I'm trying. It's really annoying. Like,
thank you so much, Yvonne. Thank you, Yvonne. We feel your passion. Thank you so much. Honorable, I will just take one more and then I'll let you answer so we can wrap up. One more. Mr. Olashupo, please go ahead.
Hello, my honorable chairman. My question goes straight to you and the local government. What can you do in helping the young school-sat female students that are just leaving school, that they can get something to do so that they can be our mothers for tomorrow, as we are talking about ElectHER now? Thank you.
Thank you for keeping it brief and short. Honorable, over to you. And if you would like, you can add my final question, which was going to be, what can we expect from you if you do get elected, what do we expect that you will do differently around women inclusion based on what you have done so far? What more do we expect? Thank you. Please go ahead.
Thank you. So I'll go straight to Yvonne's question. It talks about the patriarchy and all of that and politics. So Yvonne, when we started this whole conversation about women inclusion in politics, and from like 4 or 5 years ago, what existed 4 or 5 years ago is different from what we have now. Now there's people are politically aware. There's this conscious effort being made by states, different states within the federation on how to get women involved. We're not going to use just one case of management to say, oh, things are always going to be the same. But I can assure you that this present Lagos state government, I can speak for my state, I can speak for my local government, that things are changing in Lagos state. Things are changing, and things are changing for good, because I'm a living example. Youthful, I'm in office, and this is one of the most important local governments that we know in Nigeria. So, and I can say to you that I'm here as a local government chairman, and I've not disappointed anybody. I've carried everyone along. We've tried to do our work to the best of our ability. So people trying to, talk you down, shouldn't be something that should discourage you, but it should also motivate you. It should motivate you to be a better person. We're not saying you're not a nice person, but we're saying that when someone talks down on you, it's for you to go back, readjust your strategy and see how you can be a better ambassador for anything that you're doing. Okay, I was just responding to Yvonne's question. So it will take a while, but I know we will definitely get there, Yvonne. So I don't want you to feel like, oh, things are not going to change. Get in there, do what you're supposed to do. People are watching, everyone is watching. If you're doing something stupid, people know. If you're doing something nice, people will know. So just be a better version of yourself and make sure that, for everything you do, just act like everyone is watching you. And trust me, you'll come out tops. We can't keep saying this person A is bad, person B is bad. No, but if we become a better version of ourselves, then trust me, the sky is your limit. I think I've been able to touch on Yvonne's question. And there was something that had to do with Mr. Akinji. He said something about how do we come up with why politics? I think something like that. Now, why did I decide to?
Somebody said, "What's your drive? What was your drive? What drove you to get involved in politics?"
Okay, for me, first is I've always wanted to do politics from my days in my secondary school, my uni. My classmates can attest to this, and for me, I believe there was this disconnect between the people and the government, and the local government is something that supposed to be closest to the grassroots. There's some things that we saw growing up in Obalende and that we don't have there anymore. So I felt like I could bring those things back. And by the special grace of God, we've been able to do that just in 3 years. We've been able to give back to this community in terms of the massive development going on within that community, Obalende and Ikoyi. So for me, I think I've been able to, fulfill some of my, my childhood dreams of making sure that I give back to the community. And I think we've done that to the best of our knowledge. The facts are there for people to verify. And it gives me great pleasure now when I work within my community, and I'm not scared of anything that so people are going to come attack me or anything. So I think we've done well for people. I know we can do more. We can do more, but with God on our side, I know we will touch the things that we've not touched yet. We're definitely going to do. I can say from top of my head the list of bad roads that we still have within the local government and the things that we want to do. We want to have a world-class hospital, PHC within the community. But trust me, it's not easy to get up. It's just a 500 square meter of land in Ikoyi will cost you nothing less than 300 million naira. Can really afford that, to be honest with you. So there are so many things and more that we still want to do for the people of our local government. We want to empower more women so they can, they can also take care of families and all of that. So for us at the local government, we focus on people, focus on seeing how we can help women, help the youths. And so I'm the local government chairman today. So my understanding is anyone that's going to come after me should also be a youthful person, someone that can drive the policies, the things that we've started, and someone that can take the Obalende to the next level. So it will be disheartening for me to see that, all of the work that we've put in over the years, everything just goes down. So I want a youthful person, and that youthful person also has to go through some rigorous training and exercises of things that, would better, prepare the person for the role, because it's not been easy. I can say to you, we get calls every minute of the day. We get calls, move up and down with power banks just to charge our phone so we can still talk to people. So it's not easy at all. I have a strong team, people representing from Obalende, we have SSAs, people on women affairs, people, communicating with the people at the bottom of the food chain. So we know all of these things. So for us at the Obalende LCDA, it's more of we operate an open door policy. Anyone can walk in and say, I want to see the chairman. It's their facts only. They can come and say one, and they will definitely see me if we have the time. So, but I know for a fact that we are not where we want to be yet, but we're not where we used to be at Obalende LCDA. Obalende is a fully functional local government where you can come. If you have questions, we can answer your questions. We can respond to your questions. Maybe you have issues, we can respond to your issues. And, and we also look for solutions to people's problems. We get calls every day about, my daughter not being able to attend school, and how do we, solve problems like this? The list is endless. The local government itself cannot do all of these things,
by itself. That's why we have partners, and we have partnership for the goals that we have set for ourselves. See how the private sector guys can really come into, to help us. You'll be shocked that, fixing things in the barrack is not one of the local government's responsibility. That's the federal government responsibility. You understand? So it takes us back to the functions of the local government. But I can say to you that we've done water in one of the police barracks that, full reticulation that goes round each of the blocks in the barracks, Mopo 2 and Mopo 23. And it's also our own belief that we're also going to start fixing their restrooms in the same barrack. So for us at the local government, there's no discrimination here. We believe that there's a problem. Can we fix the problem? We go for it, So, and we're not just going to stop here. I think we still have things that we want to do for our people. And this is just we're not limiting ourselves to what's in the Constitution. We're not limiting ourselves to what's in the Constitution. So we were saying to ourselves that it's something that's bad, let's fix it. Even if it's not within the jurisdiction of the local government, is it going to affect the lives of my people positively if I fix it?
Exactly.
So that's what we are doing. So that's the next level for us. So we're not going to say because the road is a state road, we should ignore it and start looking for. No, if a road is bad and we think that we have the capacity to fix the road, let us fix it. If when people come to us, even if it's not issues that, let's just try to see how we can put smiles on the faces of our people. But I know we got on our side. We're definitely going to do what is right. And I just want to say very big thank you for having me on your platform, ElectHER. You and Ibijoke are doing a fantastic job. I think it's people. I hear people talk about what you guys are doing, and I know that the sky is not just your limit. And we got on your sides as well. You are definitely going to come out top. And I see, the first female governor coming out from this platform as well. I don't know
yes.
the state, but I just want to believe so, because basically this is a platform that you go, you get knowledge, you get, information, things that would propel you to the next level. So I know that for a fact. So ElectHER, thank you so much for having me this beautiful Sunday. I just want to thank the viewers as well, people that are doing a lot.
Oh my goodness.
For everything. I want to say a very big thank you to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
I think we have to make you the NCC.
Yes.
This internet is...
No, we understand that it comes with the territory. I'm sure even our friends that are joining from outside Nigeria understand that we still face these challenges. But Honorable, I want to thank you for not just your time, your commitment, your passion, your evidence-based work, but also your insights that you have provided this evening. And we are also excited that we can now call you an ally of ElectHER, because we need you, and we'll be coming to you for your support. And we're glad to know that we have it. We wish you all the best. We wish your people all the best. And we want to continue to hear these good things that we already hear about you. So thank you once again for your time this evening. Thank you to everyone who joined us this evening. Thank you for sticking around. Thank you for contributing. Thank you for your comments, your chats. Make sure you follow this conversation on our social media pages at ElectHER_NG, and our website is elect-her.org. So Honorable, once again, thank you so much for spending your Sunday evening with us, and
thanks
have a
for
good
having
evening.
me. You too. Thank you. God bless you.
All right. Take care. Bye now. Cheers.
Bye-bye.